But welcome to the weekend review for week 2, module 2. Hey, great job on module 1. What I like to do in these weekend reviews, kind of review the previous module, give you a little video feedback on what we did, and maybe any topics that may have come up over that week. And then also give a little look into what we are doing this week. Last week, again, you did a very good job with the alumni profile sheet, so thank you for submitting those. Also, you did the discussion assignment, which was great. Glad to see some good dialogue there. I know you're probably getting tired of doing the welcome discussions, but it got me to get a good survey of what the class is, who you are. So thank you for doing that. And then you also did your LinkedIn assignment. And one of the things, just to make sure that once you have done your LinkedIn profile, that you go out and look for the group. It's a group called Healthcare Administration at Mercy College, and we spell healthcare with 2 words. That's actually a hot topic of discussion, whether you spell it with 2 words or 1. We are generally in the 2-word camp, though I personally kind of like the 1 word. But it is, look for the group Healthcare, 2 words, Administration at Mercy College. So look for that group and join that group. That's also a way for me to know that you have completed the assignment. So excellent. Oh, but also look around for other groups as well. There are hundreds of groups in healthcare administration, healthcare leadership, healthcare management out there. So search around for some of those groups. Look for organizations. There are almost every major hospital system has a LinkedIn group. So join a few groups. It gets you on their radar. You get to see some information from the company from time and again, so it can keep you more in the loop. So please do that. Also, someone brought up a good point too. I was talking to a student in that LinkedIn is often used by headhunters or recruiters to find people. So having a nice, well-polished LinkedIn profile, you never know. You may get a phone call out of the blue. So make sure that you have a nice professional profile out there with a decent picture, a professional kind of headshot picture on there. So again, very, very good. Thank you for doing that. All right, so what are we doing this week? Last week we are kind of bringing back major concepts that you've learned throughout the program. Last week we touched on law and ethics, had an interesting case study in law and ethics. This week we're going into the world of human resources. So you will have a case study in human resources, a very brief scenario, but one that if anybody's been in the OR suite, you may have seen something similar to this happen. So please do read the case study and, of course, do that assignment this week on human resources. We're also going to be starting our knowledge summaries, where you'll be reading typically kind of a peer-reviewed, more professional article, and then in a single page summarizing what you kind of the takeaway points that you got from that. So we're starting our knowledge summaries. The big assignment for the week, not necessarily difficult, but important, is the leadership move note presentation. What you want to do is to prepare yourself for that. And in these one-on-one discussions that we've been having, and I'm just about through the entire class now, and we've talked about all those major assignments. But for the leadership move note presentation, watch the tutorials, kind of step 1. Step 2, do a practice move note on whatever. Doesn't make any difference. Just try one. Make sure everything is working the way you want it to work, especially after you watch the tutorials. There is nothing worse than shooting a presentation and then you go, oh, that was great, I nailed it, You go back to listen to it, and your microphone wasn't turned on, or you had the wrong mic turned on, your laptop mic versus some sort of external mic, or the camera was messed up, or something. So running a little trial practice right before you do a presentation is always advised to make sure everything is kind of working. Give yourself the best chances of something going wrong. Take it from me. I have done that. So I've always learned to do a quick 10-second shot before I do anything, before I go to make a full attempt at shooting a live or a longer presentation. So do that. The content of the leadership presentation shouldn't be that difficult. You have about a dozen topics to choose from. All of them I've designed to be basically minutes of research. I mean, maybe 15 minutes, you'll be able to find some interesting things to speak on for about 3 minutes. You have to do a minimum of 3, maximum of 5. No points off if you go over 5, but definitely we're going to be looking at a deduction if you're under 3, because I really want you to get some practice really getting into move notes. So again, not that hard. And you're looking at really 3 slides. One slide's a title slide, one slide's a reference slide, and then you got 3 slides in between. So you're talking 1 minute on each slide. Not too hard. And if you look at my tutorial on PowerPoint, simpler is better than complicated. So the PowerPoint slides themselves should not take that long to do. So hopefully it doesn't take you a lot of work to do this, but you get practice using that move note application. So when you go to do your big move note, the 10 to 15 minute practicum presentation, you've got it all. You're a move note pro by week 5 when you have to submit that link. Okay. So that's pretty much it for this week. Again, the knowledge summary, looking at my notes here, the knowledge summary, your leadership presentation, and the case study. There will be no discussion because we're doing a knowledge summary. With the leadership presentation, all that you will be doing is submitting me a link. The link then I will use next week. We will share that with your fellow classmates, and they will be doing a peer evaluation on your leadership presentation. So you'll be getting some feedback on how they see you doing the presentations, what I think is powerful. I mean, you'll realize that there are some techniques that you'd like, and there'll be some that, oh, I really could have improved upon, and I think it's a great way by looking at each other. We get a lot of good feedback, and with the goal really here is to make sure that when we hit that big presentation that's worth 250 points, you're going to knock it out of the park, and it's going to look really, really good. Okay, so those 3 assignments. Also, we are finishing up our one-on-one discussions where we're talking about the major projects of the course. I think we have maybe 5 more students to go through, a couple more tonight, and I think a couple more on Tuesday and 1 on Wednesday, and we're all done with that. So hopefully you're getting some value on that, getting your questions answered early, because remember, we really only have 7 weeks in this course, because week 8 is really not there because everything has to be done by Tuesday at midnight. You'll just be doing some basic reflection assignments, nothing that you have to research, pretty relatively easy stuff, maybe a couple hours of activity in Module 8. Also make sure, as I told everybody in the one-on-one conferences that we've been having last week and this week, start work early on your assignments. Weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4 are relatively light. Week 5, huge amount of points due in week 5. Week 6, more points due. Week 7, another huge chunk due. So please don't be lulled into kind of a sense of that it's going to be relatively always light. Take advantage of these light weeks so you're not really stressed out come especially week 5 and week 7. I want this to be kind of a stress-free experience for you. But on your side of the table, please put a little bit of work in those assignments that aren't due yet so you're not in kind of that pressure situation. Okay, so excellent. Well, thank you for watching the Week in Review. If you have any questions or comments, you know how to get a hold of me. Some are using the text messaging, so thank you. And as always, thank you for watching.